This table's so high. I can't
I know, we need our stools.
We're just talking about vegetable oils?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimate Guide to Vegetable Oils.
Yo guys, how is it going? Today we have an exciting video. This is the ultimate guide to vegetable oils.
This one took a lot of research. We actually have a full blog post that has cool graphics and stuff. It has smoking points. It has like omega-3/6 ratios and all that type of stuff. Check that out. That's linked below. The first thing I think worth noting is you only really have to use your brain when you're talking about vegetable oils, right? All natural oils, like things that are just oil, animal fat, butter, you know, things that don't take a ton of processing, those are good, of course. So when you get to vegetable oils, the things that do take a lot of processing to actually just get the oil,
Yep.
there's some digging to be done to figure out which ones you want to eat, which ones you don't. Let's get into it. Let's start with the bad. The bad vegetable oil. First thing, most vegetable oils are bad. There's like 3 that are decent. The ones that are in most things that you want to look for and try avoiding if at all possible. Soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, right? Those are the big dogs.
Yeah, I would say so. I stay away from sunflower oil too.
Yeah, that's we're getting there. Those just aren't as common.
Too excited.
Those are basically like processed and refined to just be very neutral in flavor, like super high smoke points, super stable on the grocery store shelves. You can make Twinkies with it. You can make granola bars. You can do anything with it. You can make potato chips.
And they do.
Yeah.
But also providing zero nutritional value.
In order to create any kind of these bad vegetable oils that we don't want to have, it takes a ton of processing, heating, deodorizing, bleaching, all that type of stuff, right? So the actual nutritional value of the end product is basically nothing. But just to list off all of the ones I would say to avoid.
So there's sunflower oil, as I mentioned, then corn oil and peanut oil.
So basically, if you look at like historical data, what's changed in the past 100 years or so? Saturated fat consumption, way down. Omega-6 consumption, way up.
Right.
Obesity, disease, diabetes, all also up in correlation with those. You could say that's correlative, but I think there's pretty strong evidence to suggest that that is a good reason for it. In all of these bad fats, or just really any fats in general, what you kind of want to look for or be mindful of is the omega-3 and omega-6 content. So a lot of times you just hear it in the form of the ratio, omega-3 to 6 ratio. That's good to monitor also, but I find that can be super deceiving. So basically a big problem with the diet of most modern Americans, like the standard American diet, it's super high in omega-6, relatively low in omega-3, and that ratio is just like super thrown off. And the reason for that is because most fats Americans are consuming in current day is vegetable oils.
Right.
Canola oil, soybean oil. Like go to the dressing section. Every single dressing you'll see, unless it's like the $8 bottles, is made with soybean oil or canola oil.
And even then, the $8 bottles.
Some of them are.
I've looked at all of them. And the only ones that I find are like Primal Kitchen.
Yeah.
And those are really expensive.
And don't be deceived. Sometimes it'll be like made with avocado oil, made with olive oil, but the first ingredient is still soybean oil.
Yeah.
So like olive oil, 9% of the calories come from omega-6, and canola oil,
21% come from omega-6.
and sunflower oil is actually really crazy looking at it, 71%. So that's like really going to throw off your ratios, right? If you drink like 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil, like a lot of the dressings
That's true.
are made with sunflower oil too.
I was like, who's doing that? But you're eating ranch dressing. That's what you're doing.
The proven downside of omega-6 is it causes inflammation. Inflammation is linked to a bunch of adverse medical conditions.
Absolutely.
More so for me, just looking at graphs like the consumption of omega-6s and the rate of obesity in America, the rate of diabetes in America, it's like an exact correlation.
Like the first thing I think of is fried chicken. So you have the chicken, which is high in omega-6s, and then it's fried probably in canola oil or sunflower oil or peanut oil, which is also high in omega-6s. And we consume that like at a high rate, a scary high rate. Yeah, anything fried really, right?
One other cool thing to consider, I remember we were at Low Carb Breckenridge. The study that shows a person's given a plate of French fries, like a huge plate, like eat as much as you want basically. The French fries are fried in beef tallow. And then there's another plate that is fried in, I think it was soybean oil.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, it was fried in soybean oil. And the amount of calories consumed, it was like 60% more just from the fries fried in soybean oil. You actually, if you're consuming the right ratios of omega-3s and 6s and you're getting like good sources of fat as opposed to soybean oil, you actually eat less food. Your body self-regulates. It's pretty good at self-regulating if you're actually giving it food and not like crazy concoctions. Just to go one step further though, there are some oils that are a little deceptive, and I actually fell for this. So flaxseed oil is the biggest one. You look at the actual omega-3s of flax oil and you're like, whoa. This is crazy. This is like the best thing ever. I'm just going to drink flax oil all day. Why do I even need fish oil pills? Omega-3s are broken down further. There's ALA, there's EPA, and there's DHA. You want EPA and DHA. ALA is converted into the others at an extremely low rate, oftentimes less than 1%. Flaxseed oil is almost exclusively ALA.
Okay.
So you're really not getting the same nutrition as you would in like fish oil.
That makes sense. And it is expensive. And we have
flaxseed oil?
We have some in our fridge right now.
Yeah, it's like the vegan fish oil, basically, but it's not anything like fish oil. So there's some things that are a bit deceptive. You got to dig one step further. Look at the EPA and DHA as opposed to just the omega-3 content. Go one step further. Next up, we got decent vegetable oil. So not good, definitely not things I really ever eat.
In small amounts, I think it's fine.
Sesame oil, that's actually one that I do eat once in a while because it tastes so good.
We have it in some of our Asian recipes.
Yeah. Flaxseed oil, it doesn't have the good forms of omega-3s, but it also doesn't have like a lot of the bad stuff, like the high omega-6 content. It's kind of just like meh. Certain nut oils are not terrible, like macadamia nut oil is pretty good, walnut oil is not terrible either. Most of the other ones though are bad, like peanut oil, almond oil, that's probably a thing. They're really expensive though too, especially like macadamia nut, walnut oil.
So you're not like frying anything in them anyway, right?
Yeah.
And then we finally arrive at the good vegetable oils, which is what we use day to day. We'll show you our pantry. Coconut oil, that's huge for us. We use it all the time. And then MCT oil, which is derived from coconut oil, we also like to have in the house. Olive oil, avocado oil, and cacao butter.
Honestly, you can get by with just avoiding vegetable oils altogether. These are not things we even eat all that much, right? Maybe coconut oil?
Coconut oil, I like to put in my bulletproof coffee sometime.
Those are the good vegetable oils, but there is also, you can get finer detailed on this too, steps to actually buying good oils. I think the best way to do this one is just like good words to see on the label and bad words to see on the label. Okay, so for coconut oil, you don't want to see refined. It's been either heated, deodorized, bleached, or some combination of those three things, making it just less nutritious. It also makes it less coconut tasting.
That's what I was gonna, oh damn it.
Miley.
So a good way to gauge, whether this is true or not is to just taste unrefined versus refined.
Yeah.
When you taste refined, it has a neutral taste. All the coconut flavor is gone. You know that something's been done to it to get rid of that flavor, right? It's been processed in some way.
It's using like the thinking of the bad vegetable oils. Like, let's take this thing that has some flavor to it and just make it plain.
Yeah.
So we can put it in everything.
Why do they even make it?
Yeah, so if you have a food that doesn't taste like the food it is, probably not as nutritious.
Yeah.
Light or light tasting. This is one that you'll see on olive oils all the time. It basically just means, less flavor. It doesn't really taste like olives. It's neutral. And it'll usually be in a light bottle. That's going to be not as nutritious. The smoke point and everything will be higher, but it's just not as good quality. The good words to find on bottles, unrefined. Unrefined basically means it has not been heated, bleached, deodorized, any of those three things. So unrefined coconut oil, it's going to taste strongly of coconut. You got virgin. Virgin means it's mechanically pressed as opposed to like chemicals that make the oil somehow come out. I don't really know how it works.
So still a good option?
Virgin is a great option. So you want like unrefined virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil.
So if there was a coconut oil that was a baby, you want that baby?
Yes. Last word, probably the most important, cold pressed. This means that it cannot be heated over 95 degrees. You're getting all of the nutrition. It's just like a raw, never heated, never treated oil. all of its goodness.
That's exactly what you're looking for.
Couple other things to consider when you're buying these good vegetable oils. Glass bottles.
The packaging itself.
It's kind of important refined coconut oil in a plastic jar. It was most likely packaged warm, like put into that jar pretty warm, and then you're like dealing with plastic, toxins. I hate using the word toxins, but basically bad stuff from plastic seeping into the oil.
So the downside is it's likely going to be more expensive in a glass bottle, in smaller form, because I've never seen like a big glass bottle of coconut oil.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's your health, so that's something you'll have to just prioritize.
Dark bottles for olive oil, absolutely mandatory. Anyone making olive oil in light bottles,
doing it wrong.
They probably don't take much pride in like the actual purity and quality of their olive oil.
And it's not shelf stable for long at all. Maybe
No.
like a couple weeks, a month. But the dark bottle ensures that the light stays out of it.
Really good olive oil will actually be like wrapped in paper or like a gold aluminum thing. Yeah. And for olive oil, you really want to look for dates on the bottle.
Yes.
The pressing date. And then one last thing you want to consider with the oils, and we'll show you how we apply all of this to our daily lives, is the smoke points.
Yes.
The smoke point of an oil is the point at which it starts burning, free radicals are formed, and all of the nutrients basically dissipate. So if your oil is smoking, it's bad. And we have a graphic that shows you the smoke points of every oil on the blog post if you want to check that out below. Let's show you how we use vegetable oils and just like oils in our daily life. Let's go to the pantry. How do we apply this stuff?
Virgin coconut oil, glass bottle, unrefined. We use coconut oil for cooking. We have beef tallow, which is a great option to use also, as I mentioned, for cooking meats, vegetables. We do that a lot. It's in plastic, but ideally it would be in glass. Probably when we're done with this, the next one we'll get in glass. Ghee, grass-fed ghee. This is just like the brand we like. It doesn't have to be an expensive, nice brand like this, but it is in a glass bottle. This is also great used for like cooking vegetables, meats, everything. It has a pretty high smoke point, one of the highest smoke points. Mct oil right here. Not a necessary ingredient at all. We like to have it on hand. We'll use it in bulletproof coffees. We'll use it in maybe like smoothies. It's something we like to have. It's more of a luxury item, I'd say. We have this olive oil right here. This is actually a pretty nice one we got recently. It's in a glass bottle. You can see this is like pitch black. That's not the oil, it's just the color of the bottle. And then we have this sesame oil. We've had this bottle for like over a year now. We use it just in like Asian recipes, and we'll use like a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons at most at a time. So we're not using a lot of this. It lasts you a very long time, and it's just good for recipes to have on hand. And then we also have avocado oil right in this jar. We like to use this for salads. Avocado oil also has a really high smoke point, but it is expensive, so we don't like to cook steaks in it or anything.
If we're cooking something on high heat, it's basically almost always beef tallow, right? Just because I don't really have to worry about the smoke point. I don't have to worry about like, the degradation of the nutrition in it at all. So that's what I do. Pretty much every night I'm using this to cook a steak. And then certain high quality oils like these, which are in glass bottles, cold pressed, virgin, I try not to heat them at all. Like even though they do have relatively high smoke points, like I think olive oil is around 320, coconut oil is even higher, like 360. I like to keep these as cold preparations as possible, just to get as many nutrients as possible out of them, because these have both been never heated. They're cold pressed, right? So I just like to pour them maybe like on, like I'll put this in a smoothie cold. I'll even put olive oil in a smoothie cold sometimes, or just like drizzle it over an already finished dish. And then we do also have like some bad stuff here. And I don't just completely not use, like I'm not a purist where I only eat like the finest of oils. Like if I need to rub down something with like a marinade, I'll just use this cheap stuff. Probably not the best nutritionally, but that's what I do. And then likewise for the coconut oil, as Mega was talking about earlier, we do sometimes get the refined coconut oil to deep fry in. Okay guys, that is our guide to vegetable oils. Just do your best. Do what you can afford. It's not all or nothing.
You can, if you're eating fast food every single day and like bunless burger, and that's helping you and it's sustainable and that's what you can afford to do, then that's great. Like, do your best every single day. That's all that it comes down to.
Quick tip you can use though, if you are like just not really doing well with this list of oils, you're super high on the omega-6 oils. That's why a lot of people supplement with fish oil. You probably want to get a good quality fish oil that adds some good omega-3s to your diet to kind of offset the balance. You can eat some fish, like every couple days, eat some salmon, something like that helps. There it is, guys. Comment below, let us know what you think.
Bye.